Hi, welcome to Let's Make Digital Money. And in today's audio piece, I'm doing 100 days of content. I believe this is day 6 of 100 days of content. And some of these videos are going to be just audio pieces where you're not going to see any moving parts on the screen, or I'm not going to be showing you how to do something specific. I'm just going to be talking over a picture because I find this type of content to be, one, therapeutic for me. And sometimes I think it's actually quite nice for people to just hear something as opposed to always seeing something jumping around the screen. So in a way, this channel is kind of almost like a podcast as well as a tutorial type platform. Why am I doing 100 days of content? Someone asked me this question. Why am I doing 100 days of content? The reason why I'm doing 100 days of content is because whenever I feel like I've been in a slump with my content, I feel like I need to revive the content by doing a challenge. And I don't like doing easy challenges. I always like to do something that's a bit more difficult, because I find that when I do an easy challenge, it's like I don't feel like I'm accomplishing anything. The only time I'll ever do an easy challenge is if I'm really, really struggling and I can't bring myself to actually create content. And that is when I'm going to do a 5-day challenge or a 7-day challenge or a 6-day challenge. But in terms of like when I'm feeling, I feel like I'm in a slump with the consistency, but I still have energy, I'm going to do a harder challenge. And for me, a harder challenge is 100 days. I think a 30-day challenge is even too easy for me now, because I've done so many 30-day challenges and I'm tired of doing 30-day challenges. And so I'm doing this 100-day challenge. I believe this is day 6 of the 100 days. And that basically means 100 days of content consistently, daily posts. I recommend, if you are someone who is struggling with consistency, I recommend that you start off with easy challenge and then you work your way up to a harder one. But doing like a 5-day content rampage challenge where you post daily, I think it can help you to revive your channel. And especially if you announce that you're doing a challenge and people will gravitate towards that. They're like, oh, okay, she's doing a challenge. You know, at one point on this channel, my videos were getting like on average 500 views. And now they're not getting more than 20 views per video. And that's because I feel like I took a step back from posting. And when you do that, you kind of fall off the algorithm. But when you keep posting, it doesn't have to be daily. 3 days a week is fine. 2 days a week is also fine. But for me, I find that when I do like a big sort of challenge like this, I feel like it also helps to boost my creative juices. It also helps me to come up with more ideas, so that once I've come up with those ideas and I've posted them, I can now go back and I can almost take those videos that I've done and I can use them to come up with more ideas. So for example, if I create a video about 10 ways to boost your creativity, I can take each point and create an entirely new piece of content about it. So for example, one of the ways you can boost your creativity is to go for long walks. And I could take that particular way of boosting your creativity and I can create a video about the benefits of walking, the creative benefits of walking. And I can do so many different things with that one idea, you see. And so for me, doing a challenge, what it does is it expands my mind in order to come up with more ideas. So think about an artist like Lil Wayne. I don't know if you know much about Lil Wayne. He's like a rapper, songwriter, entrepreneur, all-round sort of mogul. He can write 100 songs straight, just bang out 100 songs, create 100 songs for an album, and only use 10 of them or 15 of them or 12 of them. And he does this because obviously he wants to pick the best, but also it helps him to get his creative engine revved up. It helps him to oil his creative brain. And so that's what I believe it does for me when I'm doing my challenges. It helps me to oil my creative brain, and it helps me to boost my creativity overall when I do these challenges, because you can't just not come up with ideas. You have to sit down and grind and come up with as many ideas as you possibly can. You can't just be like, well, I'm not going to come up with ideas today because I'm tired. you're going to sit down and come up with 20 ideas, 30 ideas, 40 ideas in one sitting, and then you're going to put those ideas onto paper, and then you're going to come up with ideas for each piece of content, and then you're going to start devising the content and pulling it all together. The reason why I like to create content is because I like to get my ideas out there as fast as I can. And content creation is the perfect way of getting your ideas out there as fast as you can. So even if you have a business idea and you don't have the capacity in terms of financial means to put that business out there into the public domain, you can create a piece of content that relates to that type of business that you want to set up. You don't have to tell people the idea, but you can create content that relates to that type of that business idea. And you can even build a whole YouTube channel around the type of business that you're trying to put out there. And then when you launch the business, you'll have an audience of willing buyers there already to be able to actually start to purchase your products or whatever it is that you're trying to sell. And so I think content creation is one of the single most important things right now when it comes to business, when it comes to building personal brand, when it comes to whatever it is you're trying to do. Content creation can completely change the game. For example, if you have a store that's a physical store and that store is just not doing very well and you're really struggling to make an income from your business, then what you want to do is start creating content about your day-to-day life as a business owner. And trust me, you're going to start to see more customers coming through the door. So for example, if you're a hairdresser, why not create content when you're doing hair? And even if there's no customers coming in, just use your dummy head, create content about the hairstyles you're doing. If you're a jewelry maker, create content about you making jewelry. If you create lip glosses or whatever it is, create content about you creating lip glosses and put that on TikTok or Instagram or YouTube or whatever platform you want to do that on. And trust me, you're going to start seeing more traction. And also you're going to start making income from the content itself. And so in a way, you're adding an extra income stream. So for me to do 100 days of content, it sounds very intense. I mean, I'm not doing vlogs. I'm not out there showing my face. Well, for this channel, constantly vlogging and all of that. Vlogging is very, very difficult because you have to edit it at the end of the day and post it on time. For me, I prefer to do, for this particular channel anyway, I prefer to do the faceless type of content where I'm showing you something tutorial or audio style. And with this type of content, it's actually easier to get it out there and still get the ideas out there. I really hope that this helped. And if you really want to start to get more consistent and you want to challenge yourself, then go ahead and do it. Leave something in the comments and tell me you're going to challenge yourself. It doesn't have to be 100 days. It can be 10 days. It can be 5 days. It can be 3 days. It can be 2 days. It can be however long it would be to actually challenge yourself. So you don't want to make it, for me, I don't recommend you make it too easy. The only way I would recommend you to do it to have a really easy challenge is if you're really lazy, or you've been through something really traumatic and you can't bring yourself to produce content consistently, then you can do something like a 3-day challenge or something like that. Thanks so much for listening. Take care.